For the last half an hour, I've been sitting here and I've been contemplating what I would do with the Superstar Shakeup. And I'm shuffling tag teams around and I'm thinking about how I would use certain teams and certain women from the women's division and where I would move certain superstars, which superstars I would keep on Monday Night Raw and which superstars I'd keep on Smackdown Live. And then I realized I don't even give a shit. I don't care. Why am I wasting time doing a mock shakeup when nothing I do or nothing I want to have happen will happen? I'm looking at my list, and I'm looking at how many worthless, irrelevant teams that WWE have made unimportant. And I'm looking at why these teams are in certain positions and why they're in the positions that they're in, why these teams aren't really being utilized. Will these teams ever be used? Why am I wasting time moving a team from SmackDown to Raw when they're only going to be in the same position that they're already in? A lot of teams have become worthless in WWE. A lot of the women on both of these brands have become worthless. And these are two of the biggest things that WWE needs to focus on when it comes to the shakeup on Monday and Tuesday. But they will not address those situations. They will not do what needs to be done. It's going to be the same shit that we seen with the last shakeup. People are going to randomly show up on Raw and SmackDown with no fucking reason behind it at all. I want to see Bryan or Paige now and Kurt Angle making trades. Apparently, both brands are going to be backstage at both shows. So there should be trades going on, and there should be cutaways and camera segments, backstage segments, with Paige and Angle making deals, or at least with Shane McMahon there with Paige making deals with Kurt Angle. I don't think WWE is going into this with any plan whatsoever. At all. And I'm sitting here shuffling names around and where I'd like to see these names end up, and I'm looking at these teams in hopes that they'd be used better on a different brand. No. You're going to move a team like the Ascension or the Fashion Police over to Monday Night Raw. Do you expect them to be used any different than they're used now on Monday Night Raw? The tag team division alone is built around teams that WWE wants to push, like the New Day or the Usos, or, you know, you got the Bludgeon Brothers now that have been pushed decently on SmackDown Live. What happened to the Revival? Look at the Club. Look at how worthless they have become. Look at Titus Catering with Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. Garbage. The Fashion Police, all the potential in the world to be a great fucking tag team. They don't do anything. They haven't done anything. Do you expect them to be utilized? Look at Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Great fucking team. They've gone nowhere since the beginning of the year. Nowhere. The Ascension just boggles my mind. The Club boggles my mind. Axel and Dallas. What are you going to do with them? You're going to keep them together and then move The Miz, or you're going to move them all three to the same brand so that we get the same shit we're seeing on Raw, only on Tuesday night? It's just complete fucking chaos. They've made so many teams worthless that I don't even care to do a mock shakeup or a mock draft. Because I know anything that I say here is not going to be done. Whatever I say here is going to have so much logic behind it. Why am I wasting my time and energy? Same thing with the women. You might as well move both divisions to the opposite show. That's the only way you're going to get a true shakeup. For all we know, going into Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, few names out there that are definitely moving. Definitely moving. Charlotte is definitely moving from SmackDown to Raw. Definitely. I would move Sasha over to SmackDown. I'd move Bayley over to SmackDown. I'd move Becky from SmackDown to Raw. I'd move Naomi from SmackDown to Raw. I would move the names that right now are stagnant. That's what you really need to look at. Raw is going to be anchored by Charlotte and Alexa Bliss with Nia Jax as champion. You're going to have Ronda Rousey there. Mickie James is going to be there with Alexa Bliss. Asuka's moving over to SmackDown because you're not going to have Charlotte, Asuka, and Ronda Rousey on the same roster with Alexa Bliss. That's just overkill. So you're going to move Sasha, Bayley, and Asuka over to SmackDown. You're going to move Charlotte, Becky, and Naomi over to Raw. Those are the big moves that I'd make with the women. Other than that, I'd keep everything the same. Ember Moon is now on the roster. Monday Night Raw's women's division. Will they be booked any differently? Probably not. Probably not. The women's division's booked like a complete fucking joke. Tag teams, listen. I'd move the Revival over to SmackDown. I'd move the Club over to SmackDown. Give them, both of those teams a fresh start. I'd move the Usos away from the New Day. I'd move the Usos to Raw and set up a program between them and the Authors of Pain. I'd move Benjamin and Gable over to Raw from SmackDown. I'd keep the New Day as the anchor on SmackDown Live. I would even move Rusev Day as a pair, Aiden English and Rusev, over to Monday Night Raw and give them a run in the tag team division because we know Rusev isn't going anywhere by himself. It's not happening. Other than that, there really is no other teams. Who are you going to move? Why would you move these teams? They're irrelevant on one show. They're going to remain irrelevant on the other. You're going to move the Fashion Police? What difference does it make? That's not a real great pickup for either brand right now. The Ascension? Not a great pickup for either brand right now. Titus Catering? Same thing. Axel and Dallas? Same thing. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt? Keep them together on Raw. You got a pretty good top of the lineup there on Monday Night Raw. If you got the Usos and you got Benjamin and Gable, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, the Authors of Pain. But it doesn't extend further than that. Then you got Sanity coming on in. Maybe Sanity goes to Monday Night Raw. But we discussed that on yesterday's show. Who are they going to feud with? Who's going to stop them? Etc., etc. You guys know the dilemma with that. But for SmackDown Live, Revival needs a new change of environment, a new change of scenery. So does Gallows and Anderson. I'd get those teams over to SmackDown Live immediately. Those are the big moves that I'd make. Now, as far as the mid-card in the main event for this shakeup, I would definitely move Rollins and Mahal. I think Rollins with the IC title comes to SmackDown Live. I think Mahal with the United States Championship goes to Monday Night Raw. I don't see how that's a great pickup for Monday Night Raw because the guy is fucking beyond awful. So that's what I would do. I'd move The Miz over to SmackDown Live. I don't know who you trade him for, but I have a three-piece. I'd have Axel, Dallas, and Miz over to SmackDown Live. And I'd just take that act from where it grew on SmackDown Live and was more important on SmackDown Live, and I'd move it right back there. And I'd keep The Miz on SmackDown Live and conclude the storyline between he and Daniel Bryan. That's what I would do. I'd move Randy Orton over to Monday Night Raw, get him off SmackDown Live, maybe trade him for a Finn Balor or Samoa Joe. Or maybe you trade Bobby Roode and Randy Orton for Samoa Joe and Finn Balor in a pair. Because Bobby Roode needs a change of scenery, number one. Number two, I think if Bobby Roode moves out to Monday Night Raw, he could be a great heel for the WWE Universal Championship. That's what I would do. Move him to Raw and get him back to a heel role. Other than that, I don't know what other moves you'd make, man. I really don't know what other moves you'd make. I think I'd keep pretty much everything the same. Styles, Rollins, Nakamura, Bryan on Tuesday night. Joe, Balor, along with those guys. That's a good sea of talent over there. On Monday Night Raw, you're going to have Mahal. You're going to have Bobby Roode. You're going to have Roman Reigns. You're going to have Dean Ambrose when he comes back. Braun Strowman is there. You're going to have... who else is there? I don't even... Randy Orton. Randy Orton. It's very difficult to gauge what is going on with this shakeup. There's just so much talent on both of these shows that genuinely right now, and honestly, I don't even care. You want my honest opinion? I just don't care. Wherever people land, they land. You'll make me a happy person. You'll make me a happy wrestling fan. Really. If Bobby Roode becomes a heel and you you really nail down a fix for the tag team divisions and the women's divisions. Because right now, both are awful. I've said this with every shakeup. I've said this from the draft. The women's divisions and the tag team divisions are fucking garbage. And they need to be addressed. Somehow, some way, they need to be addressed. There's really nothing wrong with the mid-card. You want to shuffle a few names here and get them on different shows? Fine. As long as it resembles somewhat of a difference. But the main issue here, every single week we discuss it. It's tag teams and women. It's the same shit every single week. With every shakeup and every draft, it's the one thing that I constantly, continuously try to address. And nothing is done. I don't care where who goes, or I don't care what show they end up on. The tag team divisions and the women's divisions need the most work. I don't care. This shakeup is just something to garner ratings after Wrestlemania for 1 week, and then we're going to go right back to the same monotonous, formulaic bullshit. Nothing's going to change. I don't know why the shakeup isn't happening after Backlash, when they can tie up loose ends and get done with storylines and then do the shakeup and then present new storylines with the new rosters. But what the fuck do I know? I'm some idiot on YouTube thinking he knows everything there is to know about WWE. Shakeup is pointless, guys. The shakeup is not really all that exciting. WWE is going to make like it's exciting, but I just don't care. And I think a lot of people right now, honestly, just don't care either. I know a lot of you expected me to do a full-blown mock draft or shakeup. I'm not even wasting my time for the reasons that I already gave you. What purpose would it serve for me to do something that's, logical and makes sense when ultimately it's not even the direction or the mindset that WWE is in right now? It's a waste of my time. There's a lot of worthless talent. There's a lot of talented people that WWE has made irrelevant and worthless. That is the God honest truth. That is the God's honest truth. Everybody from the club to some of the women on these shows to the revival, they have lost every fucking... They have lost all their appeal. All their appeal. Because WWE and their booking is garbage. You think a shakeup is going to change things? I can only hope for some of these teams or some of these women. But the more things WWE tries to change, it's ultimately going to stay the same. Are creative writing teams going to change? Is there going to be any change as far as how we're presented storylines, or the storylines going to get better going into SummerSlam? No. It's the same shit every year. This is the down year. This is the down portion of the year for WWE. After WrestleMania, they don't care. This is autopilot mode till SummerSlam. And then it's autopilot mode until next year's Royal Rumble. They don't have anything planned. WWE only cares from January to April. The rest of the time, they don't give a shit. You can take a look at how SummerSlam has been booked for the last couple of years. You think WWE cares? They build these 5-hour pay-per-views off 2 marquee matches. And then they glue together the rest of the fucking card. Not even glue. They use Scotch tape on the rest of the fucking card, and nothing is important. There needs to be more than just a fucking shakeup. There needs to be a full-blown draft. Every aspect of these shows needs to be changed. Every fucking aspect of these shows needs to be changed. The only thing that doesn't need to be changed is what we see on Wednesday nights. That's what doesn't need to be changed. You want to know why? Because they're the only fucking consistent show that the company has. They do everything right on a weekly basis for the most part. They have a great commentary team. They have people that care. Everybody has a place in NXT. From Sabatelli and Moss to TM61 to the Street Profits to the fucking little guy in the division. You know? Everybody has a place. Everybody's given equal amount of time. You can't say that about the main roster. You can't say that about the main roster. I'm tired of complaining, man. This is just the main roster is an embarrassment. It truly is a fucking clusterfuck of an embarrassment. And I'm not going to sit here and waste my time exuding my energy for everybody to just comment down below, oh, JD Foot Creative, or get JD hired by WWE. They don't care. If they don't care, I'm not going to care. Simple as that. That's your fucking shakeup. You want my thoughts on the shakeup? There's my thoughts on the fucking shakeup. Not even going to talk about it anymore. At this point, we can only hope that WWE has some solid plans for tomorrow night and Tuesday night. But has WWE given us any faith in anything as of late? Unless Roman Reigns' name is being talked about, this company doesn't care. Tired. Those are my thoughts on the shakeup. You guys expecting something else? Tough shit. Don't even care. We can only hope for the best on Monday night and Tuesday night. This is Off the Script, episode 217, to round out and finish out your weekend here for your Sunday, man. We're going to talk about more Roman Reigns. We're going to talk about John Cena and Undertaker. We're going to talk about Charlotte Asuka. We're going to talk about a bunch of shit right here on the podcast, man. Let's hit the theme music. Let's hit the intro, and I will see you guys right back here in just a little bit for episode 217, part number 3 of Off the Script. I hope you guys know where I'm coming from, man, as far as not really going over the shakeup in depth. There really isn't much to talk about. There really isn't much to talk about, man. I just legitimately don't care. I don't expect anything to change from when we last seen a shakeup. And if you're expecting things to somehow miraculously change for the better, you're living on you're living a delusional fucking lifestyle. This is WWE we're talking about, man. They don't do anything for the fans. They don't do anything for the fans. So I don't know why anybody's getting all excited over what is to come on Monday and Tuesday when legitimately nothing is going to change. You're going to see a different face here and a different face there, but you're still going to get the same fucking garbage shows on Monday and Tuesday. I'll still be here week after week after week complaining more than I do anything, you know? I'm going to try and find some level of positivity in something, but the majority of the shows that we see on Monday and Tuesday are overly garbage, and there's nothing to really be excited about. And I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from in the 17 minutes to open this show. Nothing more I can say, man. The Off the Script intro invitational will conclude next week. We have 4 remaining. Videos that we're going to nail down to 1. I think I'm also going to choose the runner-up, and we're going to kind of rotate. So I think I'm going to give something to the first and second place winner. So we'll see what happens with that. But we got 4 finalists, man. We got Abby, we got Josh M, we got King Schmidt, and Trey, My Damn Toys, making it to the semifinals of the JD Off the Script Intro Invitational. Thank you to Dustin, Robson, Wrestling Otaku, and Yosef for their submissions, though they did not make the semifinals. So that will conclude next weekend with the finals being on part 3 for episode 218. I want to thank everybody who showed up for part 1. Part 1, unbelievable, man. Great fucking numbers. Almost 35,000 views for Off the Script, man. That's It's fucking mind-blowing to me, man, that many people care about what I have to say when it comes to the Roman Reigns agenda, which we will again talk about today. We'll talk about the Roman Reigns agenda again following WrestleMania 34, why Roman came out on Monday Night Raw and cut that overly sympathetic promo like he didn't know what was going on. And then Samoa Joe laid down the law and dropped his own fucking pipe bomb and revealed the truth to everybody the best that he can. But in part one, we talk about the truth behind the greatest Royal Rumble, so make sure you guys go and check that out. Part two, we talked about Bray Wyatt and this crazy rumor that he's going to be leading Sanity. Bray Wyatt obviously played down those rumors on social media, saying that he is excited about being on this expedition of gold with Woken Matt Hardy. So we're going to have to see what happens with all of that. But it is a rumor. We discussed it. Pros and cons. We went over it on the podcast in part two. Make sure you guys go and check it out. Links will be in the YouTube card. That's exactly what it's called. I keep calling it an annotation. It's a YouTube card in the top right corner. It's a little exclamation point. You're going to click that. You're going to see a drop down. Videos are going to be there. If you missed them, go support and go check it out. This podcast is also available on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Audio Boom, and Google Play. I have not heard back from Spotify yet, but hopefully one of these days we'll be able to join the big boys over on Spotify, because I frequent Spotify every single day, and I think you guys would enjoy Off the Script on Spotify as well. But if you guys are on iTunes, please leave a 5-star rating. If you're listening to me now on iTunes, a rating and a comment letting me know how you feel about the podcast always helps with the rankings over there on your Apple device. Make sure you guys go and get your t-shirts, man. You guys know the deal. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Get your t-shirts. They do it for Roman. Eat, Sleep, Bench, Repeat. The Failure Raha t-shirt. Tonight's the season finale of The Walking Dead. I hope Negan does not die, because I'm a big Negan guy. I need to see my J.D. Morgan every Sunday, man, because he's the only reason right now why I'm still watching the show. So hopefully Negan does not die. I can't say the same for poor Simon. Simon is no more. Oh, JD, why are you revealing Walking Dead spoilers, man? Who cares? Make an attempt to watch the show. It's been a week. If you have not watched it on DVR yet, then it's your loss. I don't care. But I don't want Negan to die tonight. JD's Negan is the most popular shirt we've ever done. They Do It for Roman was a close second. But if you guys want to go and make it the most popular, it is on there right now, man. They Do It for Roman. The Daniel Bryan t-shirt coming to Barbershop Window as of Monday. Hopefully we'll get this approved, and Monday you guys will be able to buy the new Off the Script, The True Face is Finally Back t-shirt on Barbershop Window. Want to thank Harry's, as always, harrys.com/script for your free trial shave set. All you guys got to do is go to that link. You're going to fill out your information. You're going to take $2 or $3 from the piggy bank to pay shipping and handling, and you guys are going to have the best shave of your life. Harry's believes they are the best shave of all time, and they want to give you a free trial shave set so that you know they are the best shave of all time. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Harry's. Not Bret Hart, bruh. It's Harry's. You're gonna get a free trial shave set that includes a razor blade, razor handle, the protective case, and the smooth and delicious smelling foaming shave gel, courtesy of Harry's, man. Harrys.com/script for your free trial. And you guys know the deal with Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys go and check that out. 30 days free, 1 month to peruse and browse their service. Plus, they're going to give you an audiobook on the house. And if you guys want to cancel within the 30 days, you get to keep your audiobook for free. So make sure you guys go and do that. Great ways to support the show. And if you guys want to support on Patreon, patreon.com/JD206. Thank you guys for all of that. WWE continues the Roman Reigns agenda following WrestleMania 34. Got to take a sip of my water. It's going to be a long one. Who's bothering me? Somebody's texting me. Somebody is texting me. Apparently there's band issues. As always, money issues with the band. You know, what breaks up the band? You know, creative and cash. Just like Jim Ross. WWE continues the Roman Reigns agenda following WrestleMania 34. Sunday night featured several shocks. Shinsuke Nakamura turning heel, Asuka's streak being broken, and Ronda Rousey proving everybody wrong to put on a great WrestleMania performance. However, another thing which had surprised the fans at WrestleMania was the fact that Brock Lesnar left New Orleans with the Universal Championship. In fact, WWE gave us an even bigger surprise the following night when the company had announced that Brock Lesnar signed a new deal with the WWE. It's clear why everyone was left surprised. It was almost confirmed that Roman Reigns would finally have his moment and dethrone Lesnar after a year plus of holding the Universal Championship hostage, while the latter would end his current stint and head back to the UFC, meaning Lesnar. At the moment, there are conflicting reports on how long Lesnar's contract is. Now, I did read as a little asterisk and a side note to this story. WWE will not reveal how long Lesnar's contract is. It's been reported that it's multi-year. It's reportedly been said that it's only through the Greatest Royal Rumble. It's reportedly been said that it's up till SummerSlam so that WWE can get the Lesnar versus Lashley match out of the way. But one source noted that it's a new multi-year deal. So WWE, the reason why they're doing this and they don't want to reveal Lesnar's contract is because they don't want to make the Greatest Royal Rumble predictable. That's the reason why they didn't reveal, because obviously it makes sense that if, details of Lesnar's contract come out and state that it's only for the Greatest Royal Rumble and then he's going to go back to UFC, that kind of lets everybody know that, Roman Reigns is going to win the Universal Championship. But we don't need details on Lesnar's contract to figure out what WWE is doing. We kind of detailed that in part 1 of the podcast this weekend. WWE is moving from New Orleans because Roman got booed out of the building and their main event was a complete fucking failure. And they're moving it now off American soil to Saudi Arabia because Roman is a fan favorite apparently over there because they want the reaction when he gets his crowning moment. How sad, WWE. How pathetic you are that you have to go to these lengths. They do it for Roman. Man, that fucking Samoan cock must taste pretty damn good, Mr. McMahon. Now, something WWE fans have picked up on during Monday Night Raw this week was the promo that Reigns had delivered. As soon as the rematch was announced for Saudi Arabia, fans were wondering how WWE will announce Reigns is getting another rematch without any uproar. Why is he getting another rematch, you ask? I don't fucking know. Are they going to detail why he's getting another rematch according to the coach? Jonathan Coachman, Lesnar took a beating and he proved that he could take a beating, so he deserves another rematch just based on that aspect. No, that's not how things work, motherfucker. It's not how things work. You gotta give the fans a legit reason. Because right now the only reason is Roman and that Samoan dick is being sucked off by everybody in the back. That's what they're doing. Vince McMahon is a demented, senile old fuck and just will not quit. It's like a fucking selfish child. Fans don't want to listen to me. I'm going to keep giving them what they don't want. That's all it is. It's an old man who's not getting his way and he's taking it out on us fans because we don't want Roman. Who the fuck does? Unless you're a 10-year-old fucking goon or some middle-aged housewife who's upset with her fucking current marriage and her 6 kids. Oh, Roman is so hot! You and your fucking old wrinkles and your fucking baggy eyes and your saggy tits. Yeah, Roman's gonna look at you though, right? Like Roman gives a shit about who you are. These fucking middle-aged women on Twitter. How dare they talk about Roman Reigns? Well, let me do the old lady voice. Oh, Roman Reigns, why are they treating him so bad? Oh my God, Roman is so talented. He's better than Kenny Omega. This is the shit that I gotta hear and see every day. Roman is their favorite wrestler, and guys like Omega and Okada are overrated. What fucking planet are you from, man? My God, are you even of this earth? God, I didn't think, don't go on Twitter, man. I swear to God, I want people to fucking follow me on Twitter because, I want people to be, in the know about what's going on here. But, if you sign up for Twitter, man, I'm telling you right now, you're going to come in contact with some unknown disease. Stupidity is wildly spread on social media, man. It's highly contractable. Please, don't go anywhere near these people. They are absolutely fucking the most dumbest pieces of fucking filth I've ever seen. So please, stay clear. Back on track here. Now, Reigns was told to go along with the lines of the fact that he didn't know that management was planning the greatest Royal Rumble rematch, how things changed heading into WrestleMania, and effectively delivered another shoot-style promo. Now, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter has explained why WWE decided to have Reigns cut another shoot promo in the middle of the ring before being interrupted by the Samoan that everybody would rather see. And no, clowns, he's not a fat slob. I'd love to see any of these fucking goons on social media tell Joe to his face that he's a fat slob. Joe is husky, and Joe's a beast. I'm sorry. Joe cut his own pipe bomb of sorts in a brilliant promo, challenging the winner to a match at Backlash between Reigns and Lesnar. Speaking on the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer revealed that the idea behind Reigns' shoot-style promo on Raw was to rally fan support for him, with the idea that in the end, Vince McMahon would once again choose the part-timer over Reigns, the full-time star who is there every week. Fans have been disgruntled over the fact that Lesnar is a part-time star who continues to be champion. No, we're disgruntled over the fact that WWE continues to push Roman Reigns for 4 years in a row. We're not disgruntled over Lesnar being the part-time star who continues to be champion. I'd rather Lesnar be champion than fucking have to sit through this Roman agenda. Just get the title on somebody like a Joe or like a Strowman. Roman doesn't deserve the title. As far as I see it, the fans don't want him, then it should not be. Now, but we got to go with the old man. The old man thinks that Reigns coming back from Saudi Arabia to America again is going to have any difference on the reaction he's going to get. Yeah, sure. Where's Raw? In Canada this week? I hope you Canadians tear this motherfucker apart. Seriously. I hope you fucking crucify him on Monday night. He deserves everything that's coming to him. Now, it was also reported that WWE is planning to have fans sympathize with Reigns, making them feel sorry for him following the beatdown he received in New Orleans. But according to Coach, that's the reason why he's getting a rematch, because he got a beatdown at WrestleMania, which is why cameras stayed on him. I don't know if you guys watched WrestleMania after the credits. The cameras stayed on him as the event ended on Sunday and followed him limping and hobbling to the back, all disfigured and all confused about where he was going. He was visibly hurt. Oh, poor Roman. Fans would rather see a full-time star hold the Universal Championship. Joe! I'm sorry, I got something in my throat. But that doesn't mean they'll instantly fall for the shoot promo and support Reigns. You think? So the Roman agenda is, it even continued going into Monday Night Raw. WWE trying to swindle their way into gaining fan support by having Reigns come out and say, well, I didn't have any idea. I didn't know about Lesnar signing a new deal. I didn't know about, the match. I found out with the rest of you on social media. Yeah, sure. He went to the back and Vince told you, don't worry, Roman. Don't worry, Roman. You get another rematch in Saudi Arabia. Don't worry. We got you, bro. We got you covered. Now go and zip your pants and I'll be in there with, in about 5 minutes. Garbage, man. This is pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. I have nothing else to say on the matter. You guys know where I stand. The truth has been revealed. I don't need to express myself any further with this. You either understand it or you understand it. If you don't understand it, then you're not the people I want listening to me. Believe me. Because I don't need any stupidity filtering into my audience. Or I don't want people challenging me on this. Or how can't you like Roman? What's your deal with Roman? Why are you so against Roman? You're a closet Roman fan. JD's fans and JD's podcast is a cancer. Why? Because I'm stating something that everybody else has not even talked about yet. Why do we gotta give Reigns props? Oh, he had a great showing at WrestleMania. Oh my God, how could you be against him? He took 6 F5s. He was busted open. We have to have sympathy for Roman. No, sorry. Whatever sympathy that you want from me on Roman went out the fucking window with your excessive dick sucking for the last 4 years. More so, it's been a lot harder. You know? The sounds have been a lot louder of those lips hitting that cock for the last fucking 4 weeks. And it's going to continue after fucking the greatest Roman Rumble. Ridiculous. Not talking about it anymore. We'll cross that bridge when Roman eventually wins the title. Now, if Roman doesn't win the title, then I don't know what to fucking tell you. I think we were all fucking swerved in the end. But, again, if Roman doesn't win the title, then we're looking at Lesnar versus Lashley for the title. And God knows I need to take a fucking injection of Red Bull right to the fucking, right to the arm, bro. Inject me with that shit to stay awake for that fucking feud. Lashley as champion? My God. I'd rather the title be fucking just thrown in the fucking East River at that point. Worthless. Lashley as champion. Can't even begin to even fathom that on Monday Night Raw. Just god-awful. The original plans for Charlotte versus Asuka at WrestleMania 34. WrestleMania 34 was full of surprises, as you guys know. Rousey, Lesnar, Asuka. However, arguably, the match, and perhaps the surprise of the night, I don't know, man, was it the match of the night? WrestleMania, was it really the match of the night, man? It's probably that one, or I would say the mixed tag team match. Obviously, Charlotte and Asuka was more of a traditional wrestling match. The mixed tag team match with Rousey was a little bit more of a spectacle, but, nobody should take away anything from the IC title match. That was a great match in its own right. I don't know why people are getting fucking 9.5s for WrestleMania, I'll tell you that, but maybe 9.5 out of 100, but certainly not 9.5 out of 10. If people give, I said this on Friday, if people are giving out 9.5s for WrestleMania, what the fuck was TakeOver? Oh, the TakeOver was a perfect show then, right? If WrestleMania's a 9.5. But some are saying it was the match of the night, which is tough to argue. I wish they would have went another 10 minutes longer. I would have loved to have seen that. That was definitely the consensus among everybody that watched WrestleMania. Obviously, the streak had to end at some point. We all know it had to end at some point. But it just fucking boggles my mind with these fucking people. Oh, Asuka's streak was boring. Asuka's streak was predictable. What? This is the mentality of a main roster casual. Now, I asked you a question. Let me refute your statement with one of my own. And it goes to show you which show is doing it better and which show is completely fucking trash. Was Asuka's streak boring in NXT? Was Asuka's streak predictable in NXT? What? What's that? No? I wonder why. Now, obviously, NXT and the main roster is different. Asuka's not there every week. There's more television, more hours to fill on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, respectively, etc., etc. But for 2 years, they kept this woman undefeated. Triple H kept her down in NXT for an extra year when WWE wanted to call her up. And Triple H said, no, we need to continue this. And this is how it's been handled. And this is the result of what happened here. I don't understand these people, man. It wasn't boring in NXT. Ember Moon gave Asuka a run for her fucking money. And turned out one of the best matches of 2017. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Now, it allows her to remain on the Monday Night Raw roster at this point. I fully expect Charlotte to be traded for Asuka. Or if that's the way they're going to be doing this thing, traded for each other. Because Charlotte lost the title. We all know WWE now at this point, being that Asuka is no longer undefeated and she lost the opportunity for the title. Charlotte's moving over to Monday Night Raw in hopes that WWE can build towards a Charlotte-Ronda Rousey match. So you're not going to have Ronda Rousey, Asuka, and Charlotte on the same show. That's completely overkill. Unless you fuse the brands together, or the rosters together. Charlotte's moving over to Monday Night Raw. Asuka pretty much is moving over to SmackDown Live. Now, however, it comes to no surprise that this wasn't the original plan that WWE had for the match, and the outcome was supposed to be very different than what unfolded at WrestleMania. According to several sources, the original plan was for Asuka to indeed defeat Charlotte for the Smackdown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. This would keep Asuka undefeated, and the long-term idea was that it would build the hype towards a huge WrestleMania 35 match against Ronda Rousey. That was the match that people were predicting. And the match, in my eyes, which is more legitimate for Ronda. Charlotte and Ronda is not really legitimate because Charlotte, in no way, no matter what her pedigree is and no matter what her name is not going to look legitimate against a fighter like Ronda Rousey. I'm sorry. It's not. Asuka is more built for that type of showdown. But Asuka is, an outsider. You really want to fucking dig down deep. Asuka's an outsider. Her roots, her successes lie in Japan. She's here in the WWE to find a new lease on life and a new career in America, right? WWE has treated her like fucking royalty. But it's not going to trump the royalty that is Charlotte. Charlotte's got the pedigree, Charlotte's a flair, and WWE obviously is going to use that to marquee WrestleMania. Because business-wise, I'm no dummy. What are the mainstream audiences going to want to see and pick up on? Some undefeated streak by some Japanese wrestler against Ronda Rousey? Or, what's going to look better on the ESPN headlines? That or Charlotte Flair, the daughter of Ric Flair, WWE legend, Hall of Famer, the greatest of all time, versus Ronda Rousey. That's the reason why WWE did it. Charlotte, some may like it, some may not. But Charlotte is getting preferential treatment because of her name. And WWE wasted Asuka's streak because of Charlotte and what they want to get out of this WrestleMania main event next year, which more than likely will headline WrestleMania 35. Charlotte's name ruined Asuka's streak. Now, Asuka was supposed to win, apparently. WWE probably figured, everybody expects Asuka to win here. She won the Royal Rumble. She was the last remaining survivor at Survivor Series. She's been undefeated. How could we end the streak? So WWE might have let that out there and let people to believe that. And then day of, they probably switched the tune and said, yeah, Charlotte's going to win. I just wish they would have did it in a better way. I wish they would have done it in a better way, man. Now, the WWE showed that this was the route that they were going down before they changed their minds, was that they had Asuka locking in the armbar during her matches around the same time as Rousey signing a deal with the WWE. The tease was going to build towards the Streak versus Streak match between the Empress and the baddest woman on the planet, instead of the Queen going to step into that role and potentially main event WrestleMania 35 against Ronda Rousey. Dave Meltzer spoke about the loss and what Asuka was told about the plans changing when speaking on Monday's edition of Wrestling Observer, citing that the sudden decision to stop the armbar submission hold as a sign that the match wasn't happening, with it already being revealed that Asuka was forbidden from locking the armbar in on Sunday night. They didn't even allow Asuka to use the armbar in her match with Charlotte. He said, and I quote from Meltzer, originally, this match at WrestleMania was going to involve multiple armbar attempts. Asuka was told months ago when Rousey first signed to start doing the armbar all the time, and then she was told no more armbars. Despite the loss and missing out on a huge clash against Ronda Rousey, WWE needs to continue booking Asuka in a similar manner to ensure she remains one of the top stars in the women's division. I cannot stress that enough. Now, that was the original plan. Why did WWE have Carmella take the title off of Charlotte on Tuesday night with the Money in the Bank cash-in? Now, upon the conclusion of this attack by the Iconics, by the way, a little side note here, asterisk, a lot of people are wondering why they're not called the Iconic Duo, but they're called the Iconics now on SmackDown Live. It is a simple reason that is very similar to what WWE ran into with Ruby Riott. Apparently, Ruby Riott, the last name Riott was copyrighted by whomever, so WWE went around that by adding 2 T's to Riott's last name instead of 1. Now, apparently the term Iconic Duo was already copyrighted, so WWE changed it to Iconics. So now Billie Kay and Peyton Royce will be known as the Iconics on SmackDown Live and no longer the iconic duo, just as a little sidebar there. Now, upon the conclusion of the attack between Carmella and the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, Carmella once again ran down the ramp and finally cashed in a Money in the Bank briefcase to leave New Orleans as the new SmackDown Women's Champion 2 nights after Charlotte ended Asuka's streak to retain the gold. Boy, does that fucking anger me just even reading that. They had plenty of talk surrounding Carmella's role over at WrestleMania weekend. Reports originally claimed that she would be unsuccessful in her attempt to cash in at WrestleMania, while others suggested she can move over to Raw and take the briefcase with her. That was a lot of, speculation in that regard as well. However, WWE fans on Twitter believe they have figured out why the company booked Carmella to cash in on Charlotte this week. Ever since Charlotte emerged victorious at WrestleMania, rumors have been circulating that the decision to have her win the title came down to the fact that the company wants her to potentially main event WrestleMania 35 against Ronda Rousey. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. As soon as Charlotte lost the title, I figured that they were moving her to Monday Night Raw to build towards next year's WrestleMania. A plan that was originally going to feature Asuka instead, which we just talked about. With the Superstar Shakeup set to take place over the next 2 days, the timing is perfect for Charlotte to drop the championship and head back over to Raw so that she and Ronda Rousey are on the same show heading into New Jersey next year. There's simply no way the WWE would have a bona fide star like Rousey move over to SmackDown Live. God forbid if they're building towards a WrestleMania match against Charlotte. Charlotte has had a successful run on SmackDown, but it makes complete sense to shake things up by having a new champion in Carmella, thanks to her cash-in, while it allows Flair to get involved with some new feuds before the eventual clash with Rousey in what could be the biggest women's match of all time. WWE could have easily went around this, and I will not change my stance on it. They could have kept everything the same and got the same desired outcome if they did what I had hoped they would do. And let me tell you something. I don't want to hear people in the comments how Asuka would be how she wouldn't be undefeated if she lost in a triple threat match cash-in by Carmella, even if Charlotte was pinned. I don't give a fuck what the rules are. Asuka would still be a woman who has never been pinned before. Just leave it at that. There's no blemish on her record. She was never pinned. Okay? I don't want to hear it. I don't give a fuck what the WWE rulebook is. The WWE doesn't even know what the fucking rulebook is. They're changing the rules every fucking week. Carmella, Charlotte, and Asuka. Now, people are saying that the match at WrestleMania deserved to have a great match and a clean finish. Okay. The cash-in would tarnish the match that it was? No. Why? That's what the fucking Money in the Bank briefcase is for. It's for the unpredictability. Now, I don't understand why people were saying that, because they weren't claiming that Seth Rollins ruined the match with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Nobody was claiming that Randy Orton's cash-in 2014 against Daniel Bryan when he won the world title ruined that match. I mentioned these on the podcast already this week. Nobody was saying anything about those matches. That was one of the best matches of John Cena's life. Seth Rollins made WrestleMania in Santa Clara. For one of the greatest moments of all time for that entire event in the history of WrestleMania. Anybody complaining about that? Rollins gave himself a WrestleMania moment after a subpar match with Randy Orton that same night. Carmella would have done the same. Had a terrible showing in the Battle Royal, gave herself a WrestleMania moment. That's what the briefcase is for. Wouldn't have taken away anything from that match. That's not like we can erase the 15 minutes or the 14 minutes that they were in the ring. Why? Because a cash-in is going to happen? It's going to erase the 14 minutes of great match we got with Asuka and Charlotte? Of course not. There would have been ample opportunity and a perfect attempt to cash in. I said it on social media. Charlotte pulling out a Spanish fly off the top rope. Perfect opportunity for Carmella to come down and cash in. Both women were immobile after that. Why didn't you have Carmella cash in, win the match, pin Charlotte, give herself a WrestleMania moment, you take the title off Charlotte, you keep Asuka undefeated or unpinned. Woman has not been pinned. So the woman would leave WrestleMania not being pinned. Then you could build a redemption storyline. You move Charlotte over to Raw, you put Asuka on SmackDown, you have Asuka and Carmella. Asuka wins the title, there you go. Charlotte becomes champion on Monday Night Raw. She holds the title going into WrestleMania. We have another match with Charlotte and Asuka at WrestleMania to find out who's the best. And Asuka would win that. Or if you want Charlotte to beat Asuka, that would be an opportunity to do so. But as long as she's undefeated, it ended abruptly. It was not time. You know when there's time for something to happen. It wasn't time. I don't know why I sit here and there's no notes. There's no notes here. I have nothing. Everything in this podcast is legitimately off the script. I don't take notes. I got fucking bullet points about what I want to talk about. Why is it so easy for me to come up with situations and scenarios and booking ideas, and these people don't have a fucking clue? Could have easily worked this in to another rematch with Charlotte and Asuka at Survivor Series when they're both champions for their respective brands. Asuka should have been undefeated. It gives Carmella a WrestleMania moment. Charlotte has the title taken off of her for their political agenda to move her over to Raw for Ronda Rousey. It makes sense. Everybody wins. Everybody's happy. Oh my God, man. It's very frustrating that WWE just doesn't think. Should have never ended. Asuka's streak should have never ended. That is my stance on that. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Those are my thoughts on Asuka. Again, New Orleans is the killer of streaks. Undertaker should have never lost his streak at 30. And Asuka should have never lost her streak at WrestleMania 34. Vince thought he was funny. The Undertaker streak is going to end at 30. We're going to do the same thing with Asuka. That's what their mindset was. Think they're funny. Charlotte and Asuka, great match, wrong ending. Possible reason why the WWE turned Shinsuke Nakamura heel at WrestleMania. Styles has been the WWE champion since late last year when he won the strap from the beyond awful Failure Raha Jinder Mahal in a pre-taped episode of Smackdown Live in the United Kingdom. He was the first man in WWE history to win the title overseas. AJ Styles was then prepared to defend his title against Shinsuke Nakamura, who won his opportunity against Styles by winning the Royal Rumble in 2018, January. Nakamura and Styles are largely regarded as two of the best workers on the WWE roster today, depending on who you talk to. So, for the pair to be partnered up for a throwdown on the biggest stage that WWE has for the year, fans were excited to say the least. Styles and Nakamura have shared the ring together before. Obviously, it was in the Tokyo Dome for Wrestle Kingdom, New Japan's biggest show of the year a couple of years ago. Never before have they met on U.S. soil, and this match was going to be, or should have been, a match to remember at WrestleMania. Unfortunately, this match did not live up to the ridiculous expectations put on by everybody, including me. It was a very slow-paced match that was placed towards the end of a 7-hour card. Now, you can go either way, with this situation. Could have been on in the show earlier. It could have been main evented. Being that we got what we got in the main event, maybe they would have been better off to be put on earlier in the show when things were a little bit more lively. But I feel like WWE sabotaged these matches. I honestly think Vince McMahon dumbed this match down. I believe they dumbed this match down because they didn't want it to be the show stealer that it was. And they didn't want it to outperform what they seen in the main event for whatever godly reason or ungodly reason why they didn't want this match to exceed expectations. But I believe that they sabotaged the WWE Championship match. I believe they dumbed it down. And I fucking loathe it when WWE uses a match on this stage that has all this hype around it as nothing but a foundation for the next match. This was nothing but groundwork for an eventual rematch. And the rematch that we're going to get is at some fucking Extreme Rules show or Backlash or whatever the fuck they're planning on having these guys fighting. It's going to be better than the match that we got at WrestleMania. It should be the opposite way around. Everything that WrestleMania does should be the best thing that they do all year. I hate when they use these matches, for a stepping stone to another match. Why are you going to dumb down this match when everybody went into this looking forward to this one match out of the entire fucking 7 hours? It's ridiculous. At the time Styles and Nakamura took place, the crowd was understandably tired. and they were ready to unleash on Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. The bout was poorly received across the board, with chants of boring even sparking out during the crowd, or during the match in the crowd. Although the bout was technically sound and told a great story, after a long night of wrestling, fans were hoping for a more high-filled spot match rather than a technical showcase. With that being said, Styles picked up the win in what was a great finish to the match. Nakamura seemed to play the humble and defeated adversary at first, dropping down to a knee and presenting the WWE title to Styles. Shortly, however, Nakamura turned heel and hit the phenomenal let me rephrase that. I don't know why. I hate when these fucking reports use their nicknames. Shortly after, Nakamura turned heel and hit AJ Styles with a low blow before proceeding to attack him and exit the ring. Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer radio show reports that the reason behind the decision could be that WWE feels a heel versus babyface storyline will work better in a feud between Nakamura and Styles instead of a babyface versus babyface. Now that he has the heel edge to his character, it's possible that the Japanese star wins the WWE title sometime down the road. You know, if it's anything that we've seen so far on Smackdown Live after 1 week, I think I'm going to enjoy Nakamura as a heel. You know, I like when a heel is sarcastic. I like when a heel is witty. And the fact that Nakamura has played it so well already after 1 week, and he was entertaining and he was, funny, I'm excited to see where they go with it. Now, a lot of you guys have stated to me, like, JD going back and watch his old work, when he was a little bit more volatile and heelish. That's when Nakamura was great. Hopefully we see some sort of that here in the WWE. This is one of the few things that surprised me because it's something that we really didn't anticipate, and it's completely out of left field. They didn't show anything as far as a heel turn with him leading up to the match. But it's one of those surprises one of the very few surprises at WrestleMania that I'm actually interested in seeing where they go with it. Could Nakamura and his heelish ways get underneath, AJ Styles' skin and present AJ Styles as being the emotional champion that Nakamura claims that he is? So we got to see what happens with that. But I'm excited for it, man. I'm interested to see how the reaction's going to be. Obviously he's got the catchy theme song. Are people going to be singing along, or are they going to boo the shit out of this guy? Or are they going to boo the shit out of this guy? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's very interesting. And like I said, it's one of the few surprises that I'm actually intrigued by coming out of WrestleMania. And finally, guys, we're going to end with this. I saved these stories for today. Not much, but it fills an hour of your days. The Undertaker and John Cena at WrestleMania 34. Why was it a 3-minute squash? Well, at WrestleMania, the Dead Man answered John Cena's WrestleMania challenge with a dominating performance and a victory in under 3 minutes. Overall, the WWE Universe was excited about The Undertaker's return. However, some fans are questioning why WWE officials booked their match to be so short and why John Cena was squashed by The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Now, prior to WrestleMania, the Wrestling Observer reported that Vince McMahon didn't believe promoting Cena vs. Undertaker for the event was necessary. If the WWE had advertised an official match between the two men at WrestleMania, the company would have the need to deliver a full match. While discussing WrestleMania 34 on Body Slams and Beyond, Taz discussed the Dead Man's health, and it's apparent he can't work a full match again. The WWE officials were booked into a corner when they had to deliver something. An anticlimactic confrontation segment would have been very disappointing for the crowd, and that would have left them unhappy with The Undertaker's career ending at the hands of Roman Reigns. Cena vs. Undertaker may have been less than 3 minutes long, but John Cena made the Dead Man look like the Dead Man of old. It was safe for him, and it could serve as the perfect ending to the Phenom if he wants to truly hang up the boots. With the Phenom's health in question, the WWE Universe is looking for a better ending to his wrestling career. John Cena deserves a lot of credit for taking that loss on WrestleMania stage. He's one of the few performers who could be squashed like that without any long-term consequences. WWE officials have an opportunity to build off Taker's dominance, but that might have to wait until next year's show. It's possible that John Cena could seek his own revenge anytime between now and WrestleMania 35. In a year's time, The Undertaker could be capable of more than just a handful of moves. If the Dead Man wants to be involved in the show next year in New Jersey, the WWE and the fans will always welcome him back, even just for an appearance. So much can happen over the next year before he's forced to make a tough career decision. So, You know, the logic behind it is very easy for any clown to understand. You know, the match wasn't promoted as a legit match, and if WWE did promote it as such, then they would need to deliver on a 15 to 20 minute match that we're expecting to see at a WrestleMania. The fact that it was, a impromptu match and it came out of nowhere and it was more like, oh wow, this is really happening now. We didn't even pay to see this. It's not on the bill. It's not on the card. You know, it didn't even need to be on the card, to be honest with you. You know, it was not a make or break match for WrestleMania. You know, my review of WrestleMania did not go up or down because of the Undertaker John Cena match. If it wasn't there, fine. If it was there, fine. You know, but this type of event calls for this type of grandeur. But it was an impromptu match, and it makes sense. They didn't promote the match. It was impromptu. We got 3 minutes. John Cena deserves all the respect in the world for doing what he did for The Undertaker and making him look like an Undertaker of old, and we got a 3-minute squash. You know, John Cena came out and talked shit for weeks and weeks and weeks. He got to WrestleMania without hearing from The Undertaker. Undertaker's there. Listen, you called me out. You disrespect me. I'm here. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Don't ever do it again. Boom. 3 minutes and done. Tombstone and it's over. What I don't want to see is The Undertaker and John Cena again at WrestleMania 35. I don't want to see John Cena seeking revenge. I don't want to see The Undertaker in a ring again. I don't care to see it again. It's over. You know, if that's how his career ends, whatever. His career is over anyway. We're never going to see The Undertaker of old, ever again. So if this is it, let it be it. It does kind of diminish what happened at WrestleMania 33 last year. I don't think that match with Reigns ever should have happened. But whatever they did after the match, to see The Undertaker come out at WrestleMania 34 again, kind of takes away from that moment, you know? Kind of takes away from that retirement-esque moment. But it is what it is, man. WWE wants to give you The Undertaker and deliver The Undertaker at WrestleMania, but so be it. That's not going to interest me, man. It's not a WrestleMania moment to me anymore, you know? Jonathan Coachman's about, this is a WrestleMania moment. I don't give a fuck if it's a WrestleMania. It's a WrestleMania moment that we're tired of seeing. It's not really a moment anymore. You know? When The Undertaker had his streak taken away from him, it was no longer a moment to see WrestleMania and The Undertaker together. It's not. It's about time we stop seeing The Undertaker and we start giving those WrestleMania moments to somebody else. Undertaker's had his moment. And for me as a fan, no matter how much it angers somebody, to see The Undertaker at WrestleMania is not a WrestleMania moment to me anymore. I'm sorry. It's just the way I feel on that. That is it, man. That is it. That is the podcast. I don't really have any other news. If anything else breaks, I guess I'll do an extra. But that's all the major stuff this weekend. A lot of minor things here and there that, really aren't of any great importance whatsoever. So, gonna end it right there, guys. Thank you so much for a great weekend, as always, for Off the Script, episode 217. We'll be back next weekend, episode 218, week in review. We'll do the Off the Script Invitational intro contest, continuing with the semifinals, a bunch of other shit. So we have another weekend to look forward to, man. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We got the Shakeup on Monday and Tuesday. Hopefully there's more positive to come out of it than negative, but I'm not holding my breath. And another great week of WWE reviews and content, man. So keep it right here on the channel. You guys will see me for sure. Follow me on Twitter, at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. We just hit 91K. Thank you guys so much for the support. If you guys want to support the podcast through Patreon, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. Get your t-shirts, barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. And harrys.com/script. And audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays. I hope Negan doesn't die tonight on the Walking Dead season finale. One can hope. And like I said, I'll see you guys for Monday Night Raw and the Superstar Shakeup tomorrow night. I'm JD. Have a great Sunday. We'll talk to you later.